Hey friends, welcome back to Acre Homestead. My name is Becky and today I'm going to be making breakfast burritos for the freezer and breakfast sandwiches for the freezer. I'm going to be going out of town in the next couple days for about a week, and then in August I'm going to be in town for 2 weeks and my husband's going to be home. And so I thought it would be good if I got some freezer meals in the freezer for him for breakfast. I will make a baked oatmeal right before I go. You guys have seen me make that, and so I don't need to show that again today. So I will make that before I go. But a bunch of garden produce is starting to come in. This is actually the first zucchini harvest, and then I have a stack of some onions over there that are pretty incredible. They were green onion Dollar Tree seeds that grew huge. And then I've got a bunch of kale here. I have my first parsley harvest of the year, and I went and collected a ton of eggs that we need to use up. I figured breakfast burritos and breakfast sandwiches would be two good ways to use up these garden produce and also get something in the freezer for my husband so that he has something yummy to eat while I'm gone. So right now I currently have the ovens preheating. We're gonna make the sausage patties in the oven so we don't have to do it on the stove. So I have one of my ovens preheating to 450 degrees, and then my top oven is actually where we're gonna cook some of the eggs for the breakfast sandwiches, so I don't have to cook a bunch of fried eggs one at a time. And I have that oven preheated to 400. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and dice up the zucchini. I have some yellow summer squash and some green zucchini. I don't know why we can't just call them yellow zucchinis, but everyone calls them yellow squash. Why aren't these then green squash? I don't know. This one got a little big, so I am gonna de-seed it just a little bit here. I'll give this to the chickens. These were Dollar Tree seeds. I should have gotten this started first. We're gonna cook the sausage in here for the breakfast burritos. This is way more sausage than I'm gonna need for the amount of breakfast burritos I'm making, but I'm just gonna make all of it. And then I'll just freeze in a little packet whatever doesn't get used for the breakfast burritos. The meat for the breakfast burritos I want crumbly. So while that meat is starting to cook on the stove, I'm gonna get going on the breakfast sausage for the sandwiches. I want these in patty form. I have 12 English muffins, so we're gonna cut this up into 12. I have this on a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper. Hopefully this time next year I will have sausage from the pig that I ordered from a local farmer. So those are gonna go in the oven till done. Now let's get going on the egg mixture. So I've never done this before, but I'm gonna try cooking the eggs in the oven. So normally when I cook breakfast sandwiches, I do over medium eggs, but I don't have time today to sit there and do one egg at a time to do that. And if they're gonna freeze and then microwave, they're not gonna be over easy anyway, or medium. So I'm gonna do it like this, and then we'll cut them and put them in the English muffins. So I got an eggshell in there. A trick to get an eggshell out is you use an eggshell itself to scoop, and see how that picks that up right away? Really easy, instead of trying to fish in there. So we have 12 English muffins we're doing, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Maybe we'll do 1.5 eggs per English muffin. So I give all my eggshells back to my chickens. I don't do anything special with them. A lot of people will dry them, grind them up into powder. I don't. I literally just throw that whole bowl out there. I sure hope this works. Now I'm gonna go ahead and season this. This is some garlic scape powder that I made the other day. If you wanna watch this video, it's up here where I show how to make it. Ground black pepper. Some gochugaru. This stuff is amazing. It's a chili pepper. It's a Korean red chili pepper. I'm gonna link this below. This stuff has chili flavor, but it's not spicy, and it's kind of sweet actually. It's so good. I put the piece of foil on this because I don't want the eggs to brown in the oven. I just want them to cook, and the foil will help protect them from the oven heat to brown. Now we're gonna cook up the vegetables for the burritos. I just put a little bit of olive oil in there, probably a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'm just gonna throw everything in here. I'm gonna put a little bit of this garlic scape powder salt in here, some black pepper, while we're waiting for the meat and the veggies for the breakfast burritos cooked, we're gonna crack and scramble some eggs for the breakfast burritos. Having these meals in the freezer is gonna be super helpful for me too, not just my husband, because when I get up to go camping, I'm gonna be getting up really early, and then when we're going to Montana, me and my 2 sister-in-laws, we're gonna be getting up extremely early as well. And so I'll be able to pop these in the microwave and we'll have a great breakfast to hit the road. We won't have to stop on the road and waste time or spend any money. We'll just be able to have a really good breakfast and get on the road. The sausage is done. Now I'm gonna add the zucchini. While we're waiting for the veggies and the eggs to cook, let's get all the cheese sliced and shredded. Before I shred the cheese, the veggies were done, so I just put them in this bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and top them with parsley that I chopped. And then we're gonna get the eggs going in here for the breakfast burritos. I have a little bit of butter here I'm gonna put in here. That's too much. A little bit of butter. The eggs in the oven are taking a little bit longer than I expected. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get all the English muffins cut open. And we are gonna put some of that onion top pesto. If you wanna watch the video on how I made this, there'll be a link up here and down in the description box below. A lot of you guys asked if you can can pesto. You can't can pesto. You can't can pesto because there's dairy in pesto, there's cheese, and from what I understand, there's no home canning of dairy. I could be wrong, but that's what I understand. So I may have made too many eggs. This is huge. I'm hoping it shrinks down as it cools. Yeah, that is a lot more than I was expecting. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool completely before we cut into it. Before I assemble all the sandwiches and burritos, I wanna make sure everything's really cool and room temperature so that I can throw them in the freezer right when they're done. So while I'm waiting, I got a list. I just looked up online for my zone, what I can plant in July. I just harvested an entire 16 by 4 foot bed of garlic. And so I don't want it sitting out there since I'm gonna be going out of town pretty soon. I really need to make sure I plant something in there so that it's working for me and it's not just sitting idle. So I'm looking for broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, cilantro, peas, spinach, and carrots. So in this bowl, I put half the sausage, and I did drain the fat out of the sausage. The other half of the sausage is gonna go in the freezer for a different meal. And then I'm gonna throw these eggs in here and just mix it all together. I did season these eggs with some more of that garlic skate powder and pepper. I may have made too much, I'm not sure. I never know exactly how much to make. This is just kind of, I'm not really following a recipe or anything. I'm trying not to smash the eggs, I'm trying to fold the eggs in gently. I just loosened the egg mixture with a spatula from the bottom of the pan, and now I'm just gonna cut out little rings. It's perfect. This is working really, really well. The thing I would probably do next time is just not make it quite so thick. So let's get these packaged up. The burritos are gonna be really easy. I'm gonna reuse my bag that I got the tortillas in, and I'm just gonna stick them right in the bag. The best way to cook up your breakfast burrito or breakfast sandwich is to actually thaw them first. So what I will do, or my husband will do, is he will take a couple out of the freezer and we'll stick them in the fridge, and they will thaw in the refrigerator overnight. All you have to do is put them in the microwave for about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and they're ready to go. If you were gonna have these be in the freezer for long term, I would individually wrap each one. But I hope that we get through all of this in the next month. We got a total of 24. Now the English muffins I am gonna individually wrap. I'm not gonna wrap them perfectly because the only reason I'm wrapping them is to keep them together. This is the foil that I had on top of the eggs when they were cooking. Cooking the eggs in the oven, that was really, really easy, and I was able to add the zucchini at the same time. but I just don't think I want it this thick next time, so I'm gonna do half the egg. These are reused freezer bags. I try to reuse my freezer bags as many times as possible. I do it not only to save money, but I do try to reduce my plastic use if I can. I'm not perfect, but anytime I can try, I'd like to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in my kitchen as I got those 24 breakfast freezer meals in. I'm actually off to go outside and plant my fall garden. I got my package of seeds here, my seed square, and I'm excited to get that bed planted because I've been feeling guilty the last 2 days as it's been sitting empty. I need that ground working for me. If you're new to my channel and you'd like to see what else I have going on, a couple videos will pop up here. You're welcome to go watch. I hope you enjoy, and please consider subscribing. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye guys.